I have this weird relationship with rest, or shall I say had. I've made some progress since I started planning this video. However, I do not enjoy rest. It's just not fun for me. I am thinking of going on a trip and I feel too lazy. I'm thinking of meeting up with someone and again I feel too lazy. The only thing I'm never too lazy to do is be on my phone, though I know it's horrible because it leaves me exhausted, it leaves me brain fogged, and I know it's bad for me. So when I am done with work and I don't want to be on my phone, then I end up doing something educational or something semi-productive, just because, not because I want to, not because I'm a workaholic. I just don't know what else to do to avoid the phone. And yeah, so that's the problem. I don't know how to rest, and I want to reclaim my rest. So recently, I've been reading Csikszentmihalyi's Flow, and I noticed one thing that I haven't noted before. He's saying that, ironically, it's much easier to enjoy our work time than our free time, and that's because our work activities are often structured in a way that is more conducive to flow. You know, that feeling of being completely immersed in something that we're doing, like a task or a hobby, and when we perform at our best with a deep sense of focus and satisfaction. And this really caught my attention because I've always subconsciously believed that more free time and more freedom would give me a better life, would mean more enjoyment. But looking back, it's actually true. My own experience does not confirm that hypothesis of mine. Of course, having too little time is definitely a problem. Casey Holmes, she's a professor at UCLA, she wrote that if you have less than 2 hours of free time per day, you feel time poor. And when we feel time poor, we get stressed, we manage our time poorly, we're less kind to others, meaning we're less likely to help, we're less confident, and ultimately we're less happy. But too much free time is equally bad. If you have more than 5 hours of free time per day, you might lack a sense of purpose. And again, your subjective feeling of happiness will drop. And this is literally me trying to have like a lighter week or a lighter 2 weeks. It never made me happy. And I think I know now why. So theoretically, somewhere between 2 hours and 5 hours of free time per day, that's the sweet spot for happiness. How much happiness this time will bring us, however, depends on two things. How we perceive this time and how we actually spend it. So our perception of time is influenced by different factors. One obvious one is that if we find our to-do list overwhelming, we will feel time poor. But what surprised me is that you don't need to have an actual long to-do list to feel time poor. Casey writes that when we scroll through social media and see what others are doing, like someone went on a weekend trip, someone attended a conference, someone cooked this amazing meal, someone wrote a LinkedIn post, we think to ourselves, oh, I could or maybe should be doing that too. And these aren't even things like tasks on our to-do list, but suddenly we feel the lack of time more intensely. And the other side of this satisfaction equation is how we actually spend the time. And over the years, I personally read so many books and research, and I've been collecting some advice for myself. And I finally, because of this video, because of the question in my head, how do I regain my free time, I pulled it all together. So here you go. So first things first, we want to promote our feeling of self-efficacy. As I said in an earlier video, self-efficacy is the sense of confidence of being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. If you take an online course, you want to be certain that you are able to see it through, that you are able to complete it. Now, I personally think that we are so tempted by our lifestyle to start and not finish things. There are just so many interesting things around us. So many times I told myself, I'll stop scrolling on my phone, I'll start this diet, I'll start exercising, I'll start a Coursera course. There are just so many things that I've been trying to start and never finishing. And I think every time I've done this took a hit at my sense of self-efficacy. I made a video about how I've been working on exactly that. Like even the goal was not as important as just like, let's do something to build up of self-efficacy in 2024. If you want to see it, I'll link it somewhere here. Oh yeah, and by the way, if we are poor in self-efficacy, if we feel poor in self-efficacy, we will feel time poor. That's the link. So second, there are some fascinating experiments showing that when we spend time helping others, basically when we give away our time, we actually feel like we have more of it, more of time. Third is that, and that was quite unexpected for me, arts, sports, nature, anything that gives us that wow effect also makes us feel time rich because it expands our perspective and our sense of time. Number 4 is avoiding multitasking and constant distractions. Constant distractions like, messages, notifications, or casually checking the phone as you're watching a movie in the evening. All this creates attention residue where a part of our focus remains stuck on whatever we just attended to, like our social media feed or our email, and this reduces our ability to fully concentrate on what we are actually doing, like maybe watching a movie. And so we are never fully in flow, and we are also full of cortisol, because when we switch attention, we get cortisol spike. So yeah, next time when you turn your favorite TV show on, just try and put your phone away for the whole episode and see if you enjoy it more. Number 5 is mindfulness. And there's a short story from Thich Nhat Hanh that I love, that I would love to read to you. If while washing the dishes, we think only of the cup of tea that awaits us, we are not alive during the time we are washing the dishes. In fact, we're completely incapable of realizing the miracle of life while standing at the sink. If we can't wash the dishes, the chances are we won't be able to drink our tea either. While drinking the cup of tea, we will only be thinking of other things, barely aware of the cup in our hands. Thus, we're sucked away into the future and we're incapable of actually living 1 minute of life. I've been really working on that, and I think reconnecting with the ordinary life and not treating my daily tasks as obstacles to get through so that I can finally enjoy the life or the moment, I think this genuinely makes me happier. 6 is engaging in play activities, as described by Greg McKeown in his book Essentialism. I recently joined a book club. We were reading this book, and at first I really struggled with this concept of play. I tried using ChatGPT to generate potential play option for myself, but all of them felt like just another errand to tick off my already overwhelming to-do list, and not just something enjoyable. And I eventually realized that the kind of play that I crave, the kind that brings me joy, or maybe brought me joy as a child, it's the one that arose out of boredom. It's not the 1 p.m. pre-scheduled tennis class that I have to rush to on a Saturday. It's instead forbidding myself from going on the phone on that Saturday and waiting to be, really bored, and then maybe pulling out that watercolor set or that puzzle or that card deck and doing something with it. And really only 3 months ago when I was reading the book, if you asked me, I would say, play? What play? I have life. I have obligations. I have no time for play. No, do I have an interest? But I seriously start to notice that I often look forward to the evening now because there are more and more activities that I do enjoy. And the final thing on my list, where again I've made quite a bit of progress, is reducing stimulation. I finally read Anna Lembke's book, Dopamine Nation, and in this book she explains how frequent exposure to highly stimulating activities like constantly checking our phones or social media, email, this all raises our threshold for pleasure. And this raised threshold makes everyday activities that once were enjoyable feel dull in comparison. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm 38, and I clearly remember a time 20 years ago when I lived without my phone, and I found so much more joy in things like taking a walk, watching a TV show, or going on a trip. And now all these activities just don't feel as engaging. And the good news is that Lemke suggests that it takes about 4 weeks of low stimulation to reset our pleasure threshold, and this will allow us again to enjoy the simpler, less stimulating things in life again. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And at first it was quite difficult. Like I would take 2 days off my phone and then go fall right back into it. But it's been over 4 weeks now, and I think I'm getting better and better. For the first time, like I've tried countless of times to break up with my phone, and I'm telling you, for the first time, this feels different. Something is changing. It's not about saying no to myself in regards to my phone. Is me really, really starting to find joy in so many other things and not having to rely on my phone as much, because I've discovered other things that are more fun and pleasurable, and they do not involve work or studying, though those two are also pleasurable activities. If any of this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope my list will maybe give you some ideas or help you to get started. And I really hope that 2025 is the year when all of us who lost touch with true rest and simple, pleasurable things in life will find it again. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next Saturday. Bye!